Hello.
Hey. So earlier this week we went to Dublin to meet with Evie's cardiology team to discuss the second opinion from Boston, and we probably will do another video on Evie's medical needs in general. So this one's really just going to be about the second opinion.
And also the journey down to Dublin. It's just, I suppose it just kind of covers what a typical journey for us would look like with Evie. All the preparation and all the bits along the way, and you know, sometimes forgetting things on the kitchen table.
Yeah. It's quite reflective of how they quite go as well.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a lot different now compared to how it used to be, because she has a lot more things that we need to bring with us. Yeah.
Enjoy. Quick dog walk, even though it's raining, but dog's got to get exercised even on hospital days. And breakfast can never ever be skipped.
Because what happens if it is?
Yeah, you'd be real mad.
I'd be real mad and sad.
Evie's breakfast can also not be skipped. Do you want to come to the hospital, do you? You have to pack everything into the small little car. We do have the van, but it's like the handbrake is gone, needs DOE, and electrics are gone. Basically just needs a whole lot of work before it's of any use to us again. Everything's going inside the car for this trip down to Dublin. Buggy's already wedged in there, along with the big oxygen tank. That should do us for the drive down and drive back. Also stinks of dog, because sometimes we have dogs in there. Well, almost all the time we have dogs in there. And baby's got to go in there, and she's in. Very important. Normally we'd pack an overnight bag for any trips to the hospital, but we've gone rogue and we're not doing it this time because this one's just
it's not an appointment, and we could do this meeting without Evie, so
we could, yeah.
Technically she could be staying at home, and then they can't get their hands on her. You all coffeeed up?
I've had enough coffee to be able to talk and be fun.
and be fun.
And not just be a grumbly man.
Grumbly man. Do you think we remembered everything?
We usually forget one or two things, but I think we're alright.
We always forget something. The flask of water the flask of hot water to make the milk warm is on the kitchen table.
Lactulose. I don't think we'll need that.
She doesn't need lactulose on it. Well, she hasn't pooed in 2 days, but she doesn't need the lactulose immediately.
I didn't see the Oromorph either, but
it's in there.
Yeah,
it's wrapped in a nappy because it leaks.
Yeah, it's a leaky bottle.
A leaky bottle of morphine.
So yeah, we normally have a bit of a checklist that you have internally.
Yeah, I have a mental checklist.
And I just kind of arrive with stuff and say, do we need this?
And I usually leave stuff by the door,
yeah,
which hints for you to put it in the car eventually.
Yeah,
but don't put that in!
Yeah, except unless it's the bag or any of the stuff. Because I know that you're not done packing it yet, it's just by the door. Cause that's
I'm never done packing it.
Yeah, in reality, you're a serial overpacker in the best of times. Do you know what I mean?
You mean that's a good thing?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
But you are a serial overpacker. When we went to Dublin for Evie's birth, I think the car was full to the brim.
On the way home?
On the way there. Remember, on the way home we had to leave Ari at my parents' house because there's no space for her.
And I was really annoyed about it.
But having to leave Ari.
I want to take my dog home.
Yeah, but there was just simply not enough space for her in the car. But anyway, my point is, we do have a baby that has quite a good bit of medical needs, so I do understand there's a lot of stuff that we need to bring.
Yeah, the best phrase for that scenario is, I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it. And if you have a vehicle that, it's not a very big vehicle, but you can cram your boot full of stuff.
Yeah, and we're not bringing any dogs.
We're not bringing any dogs, so why not? Yeah, it takes extra time. It takes extra time to unpack, but You never know what might happen.
Exactly.
And even if she didn't have medical needs, I would probably chronically overpack anyway.
Say in that same breath with saying it's better to have it than not have it, we didn't pack our overnight bag. Like
We didn't, no.
We weren't bothered packing it because, like you were saying, it is just an appointment, not
It's an appointment that Evie doesn't necessarily need to be at, but obviously because
there's no scans or nothing like
there's no an ECG or checking her sats or anything like that.
Yeah, like the risk of them admitting her and us having to stay overnight is incredibly low.
Oh yeah.
For this appointment. Normally, if we were driving 3 hours to Dublin, we'd pack a contingency bag.
Yeah.
Overnight bag, but we didn't bother.
I
this
see
time.
this is a type of meeting that could be done on Zoom.
Yeah.
And well, I'm kind of glad it's in person because I feel like you get to gauge the feel of the consultant.
Yeah.
If you get me, because you don't really get that across a video call.
So yeah, what are we? We have to pick up a notepad and pen because we did forget a notepad and pen.
Yeah, I do want to write down everything so that I have it clear on paper because I understand Evie's heart in my head, but when people ask me about it, I'm like, I kind of fumble around trying to figure out how to explain it in an easy way. So I feel like if I have everything written down from her cardiologist's point of view, I'll be able to like relay that better, if you get me. And it's just handy to have it written down, I guess.
Yeah, no.
Because things are like, if we go ahead with Boston, things are gonna get hella complicated.
Oh, incredibly. Like even now, when people ask me what is the surgery that she needs to get done in Boston, like all I can really respond with is that it's incredibly complicated.
Even if you do explain it to someone, I don't think they're really gonna understand it either because they're not living and breathing it every day. And most people you talk to aren't cardiothoracic surgeons.
Yeah, true. And
neither are we.
Yeah, neither are we. And I'm in no way a medical professional. Though a lot of it goes over my head anyway, and you kind of need to dumb it down for me afterward into words I can understand.
Like I never did any sort of cardiac nursing or anything like that, so it's really not my forte.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of trying to understand it from a nursing logical perspective, if you get me.
Yeah.
Dash cam's getting in the way of Google Maps.
Yeah, I actually didn't have Google Maps open.
I know, yeah.
I literally assumed I'd know the way.
We took a small wrong turn.
Yeah.
So we were talking about what could be possibly discussed today, and we don't really know. So we have a few. Well, we're gonna write them down. But we have a few, like a list of questions that we do want to cover. That we were kind of thinking about asking.
Yeah. Obviously, we do need to get a notepad and pen in the garage so that we can actually write them all down.
And write down what's said back to us as well.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the big takeaways we want from today is we obviously want doctor's opinion on the Boston second opinion. An opinion on the opinion.
An opinion on the opinion, please.
We also want I can't remember even the things that we just talked about. What was the second one?
We got distracted by going the wrong way.
Yeah, I'm just too focused on the road now.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. We wanted to understand.
And this is why we need a notepad and pen.
Exactly, because they just. We want. Hello. We want to understand what procedures, if any, could be done in Ireland.
Yep.
We also want to know the outcome of the JCC in general from Thursday. What was the general feedback? We want to understand. Well, it's not really a conversation to be had with Dr. We have that with the social worker after, is understanding what
The HSE can cover.
Yeah.
Because basically, as far as we can understand, the HSE will cover treatments, procedures, operations that cannot be done in Ireland. So if it can't be done, like say the ECMO can't be done in Ireland, that's like a heart-lung support machine.
Yeah.
And kids are flown to Sweden, and that's covered by the HSE, which is our health board, because that isn't available in Ireland. But surgeries like the one for Evie that she could possibly get in the States, it might not necessarily be the same surgery as she'd get in Ireland if she was she doesn't have any.
Like the surgeries are done here. They're just not being offered for Evie's case.
Yeah. So we don't know if the HSE are going to cover that. But we need to find that out because that would be a huge chunk of the financial side of things taken away.
Yeah.
Or at least, you know, some. And it would be great. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Me heart. So, yeah. And that's it, really.
A pee stop.
A P stop. P stands for pit. P.
Hey. What'd you get?
The good.
The goods.
Thank you. You still have this adhesive on your mouth. There we go. Hello, beautiful. She's real sweaty. It's quite warm in the car. You're stuck in here with your headrest. Sweaty head. Hi, gorgeous. Hello. Very bright.
I'm gonna need to let this cool down for a minute.
Why are you so zoomed in?
Oh, green.
Green means go.
Green means go.
Oh, they're greasy.
I really hate it.
Get in. I'm good. Even. We are. Oh yeah, that was it. I brought the milk. Just the hot water we need to get. So we're going to stop in a garage to get hot water. And we don't really have time, but we're going to have to.
In the rush of getting hot water for the feed, we forgot to get a notepad and pen in the garage. We'll just have to make do with remembering all of our questions.
It's always nice to see the sun.
It just happens after we cross the threshold into Dublin. The threshold. The threshold. We just can't help it.
I'm pretty sure she was signing milk earlier.
Oh, what is the sign for milk? We're running we're
on time.
We're on time. We're going to be 8 minutes early, which is 8 minutes is enough time to get from the car park to the hospital proper. But the two of us are dying for wheeze. Oh my god, I need to pee so bad.
The last 40, 50 minutes.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah.
But I know that the need to pee when
intensifies as you get nearer to the toilet.
especially when you get out of the car and then
you have to stand up.
And there's a bit of a walk and we have to get all of her stuff ready.
Ah,
I know. I might.
stress of it.
It is a stress. It really distracts away from the importance of what we're doing here as well and why we're here. Like this is a very important meeting for us, but all we can think about is we and.
Yesterday my life, sunny.
Yellow light.
Last hurdle. I'd nearly just leg it from
Which
here.
one? Just jump out and run in for a wee and just pee by that corner.
I would love to, if it was socially acceptable.
Car park is full, so I just dropped Brana off at the entrance to the hospital because she was really desperate for a wee. And now I am desperately searching for a parking space. The problem with Crumlin Hospital is that when the car park is full, all of the housing estate, which is all double yellow lined anyway, gets full of cars parked. So it must be a really, really busy day in the hospital. It doesn't help when you have the frantic need to wee. But yeah. Oh, thank fucking God. Plenty of space to get your buggy out, Evie. Let's get going. Sleepy baby. Mom's back. She started a little poop. She connected up to the hospital oxygen. Free oxygen. You're so pretty. Very long day. Very, very long, tiring, exhausting, deflating day.
bad when you're not feeling great.
And you're not having the crack.
Yeah, and you're not having fun. So we have collected the dogs, as you can see. 1, 2, 3. And we have the baby. And we have our swimsuits and towels, and we're going to hop in the sea.
Yeah, a little cool dip in the sea will help
refresh the
clear our minds.
mindset. But I do feel like there was some kind of relief, even though it wasn't news we really wanted to hear.
Yeah.
It's a very conflicting.
It was conflicting. Like
The whole thing is very conflicting.
News we didn't want to hear, while also it being news we wanted to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think decisions being taken out of your hand, in a sense, kind of help sometimes.
Yeah.
You feel less responsibility on you.
Trusting in
You have to have trust in someone.
yeah.
And that someone is her team in Dublin, I think, at this point.
I think we definitely got that reinforced today.
Yeah, for sure.
No.